Hello, welcome to this tutorial. Today we'll be looking into template literals. So template literals, also known as template strings, is a feature of JavaScript which was introduced in 2015 in the ES6 ECMAScript. It allows us to embed expressions and variables inside of strings using backticks as delimiters. This makes strings manipulation and concatenation more convenient and readable compared to the traditional method of using double quote or single quotes. So basically, there are several advantages of using template literals, which are interpolation, which we've talked about. It enables us to insert variables, then multi-line string, we can use multi-line with it. While using double quotes, you can't use multi-line, and single quote, you can't use multi-line unless you escape the strings. And then also white space prevention. Template literals preserve white spaces and line breaks, making them useful for formatting text. And then we have what is called tagged templating. So we can use tagged templating to process template literals with a function. This can be helpful, for tasks such as you want to generate a message to be sent to an email, and internalization or syntax highlighting. So we'll be looking at these features of template literal in your code. So let's get into it. So first of all, we have these templates. So I'm going to attach it to this HTML file so that we can test it. So this is just a basic HTML page. There's nothing special there, just so that we can have access to the JavaScript file. So I'm going to open this with live server. We'll go into the console. Let's imagine we want to output this message. Hello, John, how are you doing? How will we go about it? In the traditional way of using double quotes and single quotes, we'll have to concatenate the hello, then concatenate it with a space, or we could just do this and remove this, and then we'll concatenate the name, which is the username, and then we'll concatenate the username. We'll also concatenate the exclamation mark, then new line, we have to escape it using this, and then we'll also now concatenate the last message. So this can be a whole lot of headache depending on the type of string you want to output. It might be a very complex string that you're working with, so it might be a lot of headache concatenating a whole lot of different variables, and escaping your task. That was why template literals was introduced. So basically, if I save this now, we will get this hello John, how are you doing? But right now with template strings, what you just have to do is, I'm just going to create a new one. Hello, I'm gonna call in my message the equals to. Now we used backtick for template literals. So once we insert both our backticks, the start and the ending backticks, see there, whatever we place inside will be our string. So I can now say hello, and then if I want to insert a variable, I have to use the $sign and the open bracket and close bracket, and then I can insert my variable in the middle of the brackets. So that's the username, and then I need to go to the next line. I can say, how are you doing today? And save that, and let's log the new message. You can see we have the same thing here. You can see we have the same thing, and this is a quicker method than going through the first method, which you have to concatenate and keep concatenating. So with this now, automatically when we entered a new line, it automatically generated a new line. We didn't to escape the string, we just entered into the new line and it was preserved. That is the beauty of template literals. You can see we have another example here. Here we have the name of the client and the age, and then we generate the message. So what we are doing here is called interpolation. This is interpolation and multi-line string. So this multi-line string. While inserting the variable is the interpolation. You need to understand that this is interpolation, and multi-line, we're using a multi-line string here. So basically that is that about interpolation and multi-line string. Then the next thing we want to look at white space preservation. You can see that our white spaces was preserved. So if I give this multiple space and save it, you can see that it is being preserved here also. So it preserves your white space. Save it also, you can see. So you have to be very careful when using this. It won't strip out your white space. It would preserve the white space. So if you give it an excess white space, it will preserve it. So I can have this also to preserve it. So, and you can easily get into trouble using this if you don't understand that it preserves white space. It's not like HTML. When you're using HTML, it escapes the strings for you. If you have multiple spaces, it will only be one. But when you're using template literals, it preserves the white space. Then the next thing we want to look at is tagged template. So what is tagged template? So it's a process of using a custom function, which can be helpful for tags like internalization and syntax highlighting. So we can use a function to process template literals. So here is an example of that. We're going to comment this out and explain what the code does. So basically here what we have is we have a function that receives strings and an array of values. Strings and array of values. And then we do a for each to cycle through the string. And when we get to a value, we attach it to the results here. It's like we're concatenating the strings and also attaching the values. Now I have a variable here called smartphone, and we'll have the price here. And in this product HTML, which is HTML template here, we are inserting the price here and the name, product name, and the price. If you look closely, you see we are calling this function while passing this template literal to it. So let's look at the output of that. You can see exactly what was there. It's actually imputed the exact value of this and the value of this. So you can use this to process maybe an array of values, a multitude of, you want to generate dynamically, data dynamic and HTML data dynamically. You can use this instead of having it hard coded in your code or something like that. You can use this template tagging to tag it. So this is basically what it is, what template tagging is. I know most of you have not worked with something like this before. So this brings us to the end of this tutorial. See you next time. Kindly like and subscribe to my videos and turn on the notification icon for more videos like this. Thank you.